You're listening to Your Highest Self Podcast, episode 29, How to Escape the Comparison Trap. Hey guys, welcome back to the show. I am so excited to have you back again here today, investing in your mind, and so grateful that you're doing it with me. It is, it's January. Just had to remind myself what day it was. So the next couple podcast episodes are going to be centered around the 3 pillars inside my signature group life coaching program, which is called Mindset Makeover Academy. And before we get into today's episode, I just wanted to take a moment to invite you into it. If you want to stop dieting, if you want to learn how to stop hating your body and fall back in love with yourself, reclaim your self-worth, learn about your values and your boundaries, and do it with a group of women who are on that same trajectory as you. So whether you are post-competition or you've never competed before, but you've just always dieted and you're looking for that way out, that's what Mindset Makeover Academy does for you. So it is not a nutrition program, it's life coaching, but we do integrate nutrition and habits and systems in. And throughout those 10 weeks, you'll be learning to implement the 1-4-3 method and the EAT method. So you can delete MyFitnessPal off your phone and start to build the blocks of a healthy lifestyle. Of course, I'm like, if you want to keep track of your macros, you can. I'm not like a stickler for that. But if you want to learn the way out and live a life that's not centered around food and dieting and start to create that best life for yourself, your highest self, the Mindset Makeover Academy is perfect for you. So the 3 pillars inside Mindset Makeover Academy are your mind, your body, and your heart. And the mind is all about the mindset. So that's what today's episode is about. We're going to talk about how to escape the comparison trap. The body pillar in MMA, that's what I call Mindset Makeover Academy. The body pillar is all about falling in love with your body again, how to stop binge eating, how to stop emotional eating, how to manage your cravings, how to not feel guilty about eating out. And of course, a lot of that is mindset, but it's specific towards your body. Even though I advocate a lifestyle that is not centered around dieting and about living your healthy life, I'm not opposed to you wanting to lose weight. So this is always a little bit tricky to explain, but what I believe is that when you have the foundational building blocks of mind, body, and heart, and you build a rock solid foundation of habits and systems that serve you for your highest self, weight loss is going to be a natural byproduct. And it also might not be. This is where it's really important that we work on your self-worth and your self-love and to get you to a place where within the current body you have now that you are that you're happy, and that no matter what your body looks like, if it got smaller or if it got bigger, it doesn't faze you because it just doesn't exemplify who you are. And then the other layer to that is that I am a personal trainer. Like, I am a coach, and I know how to help people build the systems and build the habits that optimize you so that you can feel amazing and be in the best shape physically due to your lifestyle versus you trying to force yourself into a smaller body. I hope that made sense. So that is the end result of Mindset Makeover Academy. That's what you learn. And then through the 2.5 months together, we really take all those habits and all those systems for the person you want to be, and we put them into action. It's super fun. It's a great program. So I just wanted to invite you into that in case you've been wanting to work with me. We're going to start February 9th. So enrollment is open now, and it's by application only. So you do have to apply, and then we'll get on a call just because I want to make sure that it is the right program for you. It's an investment. It's not this like cheap thing. And so I want to make sure that you're going to benefit from it, and you're not going to, pay $2,000 and be like, well, what was that for? So anyhow, so heads up, the next couple episodes are going to be based around these pillars. And this is like the pillars of my foundation, my lifestyle. And I want to teach them to you because I believe that when you have these 3 pillars set, then you are able to be your highest self. So without further ado, let's get into it. It was like the longest intro in the world. In today's episode, we're going to talk about how to escape the comparison trap and, why it happens. And I'm going to give you the 3 reasons or 3 ways to escape it. So first and foremost, why does the comparison trap happen? And this goes for comparing your relationship, your career, your body, your strength, your home, your friends, your baby. I know some people get into that rabbit hole, whatever it is. This applies to all of it. And I bring up social media because it's everywhere. It's big. We can't ignore that's the elephant in the room that drives a lot of the comparison thoughts and behaviors that we may be, struggling to cope with. And if you ever compare yourself to somebody on social media, I just want to tell you it's really silly because it's just not even real. It's a highlight, and it's basically like comparing yourself to a unicorn. It just doesn't exist. I mean, I'm a person who shares my life publicly on social media, and I edit my pictures so they all have the same filter on it so that my aesthetic on my feed looks good. I'm not sharing like when my dogs are screaming at each other and fighting and like peeing all over the house. I'm not sharing when I argue with my husband. I'm not sharing. I shared a little bit, but I didn't, share a ton when over the holidays I was going through a really hard time because I don't see my family, like my parents. I don't go home, and my dad is one of 9. I have 25 cousins, and it's usually such a big, merry, jolly time, right? It's the holidays. And I was going through a little bit of a hard time in December, and I don't share that. So I wanted to tell you that because I know I'm not unique. I know that a lot of other people out there who are sharing their life on social media, we choose what we want to show you. And I'm sure you're the same. I'm sure you're not, going out there and telling us all the bad stuff that's happening to you. So because of that, just remember that it's a unicorn. It doesn't exist. You're comparing yourself to something that's not even real. So the reason why comparison happens is because your operating system, so we've talked about this a lot, like your operating system is your subconscious. It's 95% of what drives your behavior. It's tuned into what's not good enough about you, which makes you see that in other people. So if you don't think that you're good enough at home with one of my things is like, I wish I was a better interior designer. I'm just not. And I feel that's something that I'm not good enough at. And when we first moved into this house, I really wanted to decorate it really nicely. And my operating system was so tuned to seeing what other people's houses look like. So if someone is filming a story, I'm like looking behind her, being like, oh, okay, what does she have up on her walls? And I've done so much work on this. So I recognize when the comparison thoughts come in, but I did compare and say like, wow, like they've got this, oh, their house is so much bigger. There's just so much more space to decorate. And I could feel those thoughts coming in. So when the operating system is tuned into what's not good enough about you, you see it more in other people. You see all the things you are not. So the key to making this not happen, right, is to change your operating system. Because when comparison is your operating system, by definition, everything is relative. So if one person is this, then compared to them, we are this. So if they are strong, we are weak. If they are lean and sculpted, we are soft. If they are so successful and a YouTube megastar, then we are not. So that's why I don't want comparison to be your operating system, because it's always going to tune you into what's not good enough about you. So this is how we change our operating system. This is how we escape the comparison trap. The first step in it, you guys know I love 3 steps, is we got to change your operating system to what is good enough about you. How can we start to get you to see all the positive aspects about you, not the negative aspects about you? I see this with my clients all the time, especially when like a new round of MMA starts and we're all sharing. When I ask somebody what are your struggles? What do you want to work on? What do you not like about your current situation right now? And they'll give me like a list of 20 things. And then I'm like, okay, what are your strengths? they'll give me a list of like 2 or 3. And it takes them double the amount of time to think about what is positive about them versus like what is negative. So the way that we can change your operating system is, one, I hope you're doing your journaling. That's step number 1. But there's 3 things within this. It's one, it's gratitude. Get obsessed with your own life. And the only way you can do that is by showing daily gratitude and daily repetition of being in gratitude. And so I talked about this in my stories yesterday, but it's about putting everything in the perspective of like, I get to wake up early. I'm so grateful for this life that I've built. Even anything that feels negative, like getting up early or maybe having to work an extra 2 hours. It's Saturday morning for me right now that I'm recording this for you guys. And I'm going to my friend's brunch and bridal dress fitting. I don't know what you call that. And I leave in 25 minutes. And I was thinking to myself, well, do I film this episode? Do I not? But then, my assistant can't get it edited. And I was saying, I need to. And I caught myself and I said, no, I get to record one episode, real quickly before I got to leave. And then when I say I get to, I became grateful for this podcast, for this community, for the fact that I'm able to like freaking record this thing on my computer, my phone, and put it out there for hundreds of you to listen to, right? So be in gratitude, get obsessed with your own life, and make that a daily repetition through your journaling. Number 2 is your intentions. Like, be intentional with your life. Stop winging it. Life goes by fast. It goes by fast. I taught a core values workshop last night, and one of the attendees that was there, we talked about this, where she was like, 2019 just went by. I just don't even feel like anything happened. And it's, as we get older, I'm 28, turning 29 next month. I just feel like the years pass by so quickly. And if we're not being intentional with our day to day, then we're going to let many, many years pass us by. So when you start to be intentional with your life and you know what your intentions are, you know what your values are, you're able to escape the comparison trap because your brain is focused on you and who you are and what's important to you, rather than, again, looking at everybody else and seeing where you're not good enough compared to them, or all the things in them that you don't have yet. The last tip on changing your operating system to what is good enough about you is a perspective shift. Get off social media and gain a new perspective. Maybe you can go help those in need. Maybe you can attend an in-person event somewhere, something. Just get off social media, because I have a complicated relationship with social media. I think I've told you guys before, and I'm always actively looking at improving it. So what that means is when I find myself down the rabbit hole, it's hard to turn it off, and I'm getting better at it. I took a lot of social media breaks last year, and one time I took a 10-day break, and I noticed for the first 3 days, I kept thinking about it. I was like, oh, I wonder what I'm missing. Oh, this would be such a great post to share with my followers. And I felt like there was a lot of residue on me. And it took like 3 days before the social media residue, like the pixels, just that digital, it took 3 days for me to detox from it, for me to like be present in my own life, like honestly. And so when we get off social media, I think we get a new perspective. Maybe you can go help those in need. I, help with cats, and I now go to a boxing gym, so I get to talk to different people, and I get a way different perspective than I do when I'm reading the captions of the people that I follow. So I hope that makes sense. Step number 2, thing number 2, these are in no particular order, but the second way to escape the comparison trap is that no one is on a pedestal. No one. Literally no one. I don't care if that girl has 1 million followers. I don't care if that woman has, like 3 kids and her couch is white. Like, I don't care. No one is better than you. We're all on the same journey. We're all on the same path. When you think about it like this, like we're all on the same path, and we're just at different parts on that same path. So if there's ever anything within me that you ever found yourself comparing, or you're like, well, I wish I had that. I wish I could do it like that. I wish I could have this. Know that because you see it in me, it is also possible within you because we're on the same path. I love that one. Like I think it was Lori Harder that told me this, and I admire her so much. Like she runs these amazing women empowerment events, amazing podcast. I just feel I love the way she shares like her struggles and her learning lessons and how authentic and vulnerable she is. And in the very beginning, I was comparing my delivery to her delivery. And then one day I heard her say that. She said, if there's ever anything within me that you see that like kind of sparks something in you or that you want, it's because innately it's within you too. We're on the same path. So it's also possible for you. And that just blew my mind. I was like, so I want to share that with you, and I want to extend that to you, and I want to give that belief to you. If there's anything you ever see in somebody and you immediately compare because you think that, well, they are that, so and I am not, change it to and. They are that, and I can be that way too, not or. So remember that things aren't relative, and use those ahead of you as confirmation about what's possible. Like that's key. The last step, key I have for you to escape the comparison trap is to compliment and connect with people that you compare yourself to. Jealousy and comparison is an amazing trigger. It is an amazing tool that we can use to become more of our highest selves. I see this a lot in some of my clients where they're like, I'm just so peeved at this girl. Like, who does she think she is to like post that way? Or, I can tell she's not confident, but she's posting like that. And like, people say all these things. So, and I say those things too. And whenever I found myself comparing or even getting annoyed or getting jealous, I immediately compliment and connect with that woman. This happened to me just like last week. This one of the girls in my new mastermind that I'm in, I love the way that she's been showing up online. I love her quote cards. She says, say it with me. And then she does an affirmation. And I love her captions. I just feel I'm not her ideal client, but I just love the way she shows up. I love her authenticity, her vulnerability. And I was comparing myself to her and seeing all the things that are not good enough about me, right? Because one of my core wounds, I've told you guys this before, but it's that I'm not good enough. And so that's what everything for me boils down to. So if you know what your kind of like core wound is, it's much easier for you to shift your mindset and shift your paradigm and get out of it. So I DM'd her and I said, hey, I just want to let you know that I love the way you're showing up online. I love your captions. I love your quotes. I just think you're doing such an amazing job sharing, like vulnerably, but also with like leadership and authenticity. And I just want to tell you, you're doing amazing. And I love reading your content. And when I did that, what happens, and when you do that, it's going to open up your energy and the possibility to see what's possible for you. But if you stay within the comparison trap, if you stay within your own mind, thinking over and over again about all the things that you don't have compared to her, it's going to close your energy and it's going to close what is possible for you. You're literally going to be repelling that opportunity for you. I hope that makes sense. So try it out. If there is someone that you find yourself comparing to, compliment them on that which you see in them that you want to see in yourself. Change your operating system. You are good enough. Start to be intentional with your daily journaling, gratitudes, your intentions. Get off social media, get a different perspective shift, and change your operating system to see good in everyone. I say this all the time, but your external world is a reflection of your internal world. So start to focus on you. Do your personal development, read, join my free Facebook group, Your Highest Self Community. Forgot to plug that in earlier. And share your wins. We're doing CEO Sunday in there. We have a monthly coaching theme. It's free. It's called Your Highest Self Community. DM me and I'll send you the link, or actually go down to the show notes and I'll put the link to the group in there. Join us. Super fun. Be like intentional with your life that way, and start to surround yourself with people that you want to be more like, versus just looking at them from your screen and comparing yourself to them. Okay. I love you guys. I hope that this episode was helpful. Next week, we are talking about, let me pull up my little sheet here. I can never remember. Next week's episode is on the body pillar. Ooh, this is going to be a good one. And it's 3 steps to cultivating a more positive body image. So I'll see you guys next week here, same time, same place. If you love this episode, forgot to say, take a screenshot, post on your story, share it with a sister or a friend or a cousin or aunt. Spread this message. Let's get out of this comparison trap. Let's change our conscious energy and raise it. And let's start supporting each other. Let's start complimenting each other. Let's start telling other people what we love about them when we feel that comparison thought come in. Switch that mindset. You can do it. All right. Like I said, I'll see you guys next week. Same time, same place. Have an amazing day. And don't forget to be your highest self. Bye for now.